Welcome back. I'm still here in Florida, and while I'm here, I wanted to share with you the progression, the internal progression of a very advanced yogi who recently became a student of mine. And he described to me an internal process that's going on, and I loved it. It's a beautiful, very clear description, very clear progression. I wanted to share it with you guys, just how deep people can go with Kriya Yoga. The first part of the progression I wanted to explain because it's a sensation that a lot of people have, and it's a sensation of falling. So your muscles in your body, when they relax, they elongate. So they stretch out, right? And as they stretch out, they send a signal to the brain. And that signal to the brain is actually that we don't know exactly what's going on, but the muscle is lengthening. And so the brain registers this signal like you're falling. So if you've ever been in meditation and all of a sudden it might even break you out of the meditation if it's surprising to you the first few times, you might be like, oh my God, I gotta hold on to something, I'm falling, or you might have the sensation that you're levitating. I've had lots of yogis come out of meditation and tell me, oh my God, was I levitating? Because I sure felt like it. And this again is that sensation. The muscle is lengthening, and as it lengthens, it sends a signal to the brain about the lengthening. And the place that we experience this lengthening of the muscles is when we're falling. And so that's how the brain will often register it. So very interesting. So I want to explain the science of that first. Here's the rest of this yogi's, very advanced yogi's progression. The first thing he feels is if he's falling backwards. The second thing he feels is the body actually solidifies. He said it almost feels like a rock. I said, does it feel like you're freezing? He said, yes, that's exactly it. The body freezes. So it's going into the freeze response. So that only happens when you're going into heart rate variability and you're sitting very still. So you do those two things and you can experience this freeze response. So the place that we see the freeze response in medical science is in the understanding of sleep paralysis. So that's when you fall asleep and then you wake up and then you feel like you can't move. You feel like you're frozen. And of course, we're not ready for that when we wake out of sleep. And so it's very discombobulating, and it's not a pleasant experience necessarily. But when you're meditating and you actually want to freeze, it's extremely enjoyable and gives a cool sensation over the entire body. You may feel like the whole body is tingling. And these are all very, very pleasurable things that happen in meditation. And it means that you've gotten into that freeze response. Now, to do that, you needed to get into heart rate variability. The heart rate has to calm down, the body has to calm down. And then when you're sitting very still doing that, you will encounter this freeze response. So that's the second thing. So first he feels like he's falling backwards or falling. The second is the freeze response. He says, then the body disappears. Now, as the projections of the limbic brain, which we call chakras, as those are silenced, then the body itself begins to disappear from your awareness. You're in this state, you can consciously turn your attention back to the body, and the body's right there. But so long as you're focused on your meditative experience, the body itself begins to disappear from your awareness. It's just gone. It's not there. It's a very, very interesting thing. A few times this happened to me in meditation, and I felt like my body had become a shadow. So that's another experience of this internal state of interiorization, which is pratyahara. He says at this point, the light gets more intense, and as he surrenders, the bliss gets more sublime, and the center of the spiritual eye, which is the blue, becomes more vibrant and awe-inspiring. So there you have it. He's in front of the spiritual eye, and what does he do in front of the spiritual eye? He surrenders, he lets go. It's a hard thing to try and grasp exactly what this is, and the way that I try to explain this letting go is to learn to dilate your eyes and expand your vision. So a lot of times we come into meditation and we have this kind of focus, but that's the left brain kind of focus, and it will only take you so far. And when you meet the spiritual eye, you will not be able to go into it. And so you have to develop this expansion and letting go, embracing the experience that you're in of just being in front of the brain. And so as you do that, and that's exactly what he's doing, he says, the bliss gets more sublime, the blue becomes more vibrant and awe-inspiring. Isn't that gorgeous? So I wanted to share that with you. I think it's a sublime progression. It's just beautiful. It's right on in so many ways for Kriya Yoga, and I hope this helps everybody out a little bit. If it did, hit that bell so I can see you guys next time.